So, good evening, dear friends, true friends of Israel. I would like to begin, with your permission, with a simple question. What makes a small nation become a story that never ends? Not size, not power, not numbers, but memory, courage, and the ability to choose good even when it is easier to choose fear. For me, Purim is not only a holiday of customs, music, and joy. Purim is a bridge between the past and the future. In the book of Esther, we read about a small nation, a minority within a vast empire, without an army, without political power, without control over its destiny. And then an existential threat arises. In such moments, there are only two options: to disappear or to rise. And the Jewish people choose to rise, always. Esther chose courage over silence. Mordechai chose dignity over submission. And the people choose unity over fear. Purim is not merely a story of survival, it is a story of identity. Because when a people knows who it is very difficult to erase it. And as I stand here in Singapore, one of the most impressive nations in the world, I think about the parallel. Singapore, too, is a small country. Small in size, small in natural resources, surrounded by challenges, yet it did not choose to define itself by its size. It chose to define itself by its quality. And here I would like to share something personal. When I was a child, Purim was my favorite day of the year. Every year I dressed up as a different character in the customs of Purim. This is our tradition. Once a hero, once a leader, once a warrior, even a panelist, by the way. A small child imagining a big future. And today, if you were to ask me whom I would choose to dress up as, I would say, Dr. Goken Sui. Why him? Because he was one of the central architects of modern Singapore. A man who looked at a small nation and maybe said to himself, we will not measure ourselves by our limitations, but by our vision. He helped build a strong defense system, a stable economy, and one of the finest education systems in the world. But above all, he built a mindset. A mindset that a small nation can be great. And that is precisely the message of Purim. We may be small in numbers, but we are great in the spirit. We were small and courageous then, and we are small and courageous today. And this is not a statement of arrogance. It is a statement of responsibility. To be small and courageous means to choose values, to choose to build when it is easier to destroy, to choose light when there is darkness. A few weeks ago, I completed writing my book about Singapore, about the model that works. And as I studied Singapore's success story, I came to understand something profound. The future does not belong to the largest. The future belongs to the bravest. The Jewish people survived for thousands of years, not because we were the largest, but because we never gave up our identity. Purim reminds us that history can turn in a single moment, but that happens only when someone is willing to take responsibility. Esther said, "And if I perish, I perish." That is a statement of courage, of commitment to something greater than yourself. And when I think about the future, here in Singapore, a global city that connects East and West, religions and cultures, I believe the message of Purim is more relevant than ever. No matter which country you come from, no matter the size of your community, the real question is, are you willing to be courageous? Purim reminds us that customs are temporary, but identity is eternal. We were small and courageous then, we are small and courageous today, and we are Jews who never give up. A people who continue to build, a people who continue to believe, and a people who continue to choose the future, always. And if there is one thing Purim teaches us, it is that our story is still being written. And I invite you all to be part of it. Happy Purim and Shabbat Shalom.